Good morning, I'm a forester here, and today with the help of some Robitussin and some coffee, I'm going to try to get through a review that is really overdue. It's a review of this pistol, the Smith & Wesson M&P Shield, and this version is in 9mm. I want to give you three key dates. It's January the 10th, 2013, it's May the 17th, and September the 28th today, all in 2013. The date that I ordered this pistol was January the 10th. The day I picked it up and paid for it was May the 17th. And today's date is the day that I reviewed it. Now 19 weeks has passed since I purchased this pistol. That alone should tell you something. Possibly the most important thing that I can tell you about the gun. So far, I'm really not that charged up about it, and I'm just being honest. And maybe my opinion will change over time, but right now I'm not that excited about this pistol, and I'll tell you why. By the time I ordered it in January, the Shield had been out a while. I had decided not to purchase it primarily because I already had 2 or 3 concealed carry options, and I just didn't think that I needed it. So why did I purchase the Shield? Well, it was simply because of the price. I went with a coworker to purchase his Shield, and I was floored when I saw the Smith & Wesson pistol for $325. I think in a previous video that I've done on this pistol, I've shown you my receipt. With this gun, Smith & Wesson has out-Rugered Ruger. If given a choice, I would always prefer a Smith & Wesson for their quality, but the price tag usually dictates that I end up buying a Ruger, but not with the Shield. Now, I've been to the range with this pistol several times this summer, and I probably put 4 or 5 boxes of ammo through it. I've shot it enough to where I feel comfortable going over the technical aspects of the gun, but I just haven't carried it much. I probably only carried it about a half a dozen times all summer. That has more to do with the holster that I'm using, this Kydex Tech holster, than probably any other thing. I have 2 Kydex Tech holsters that I've already done reviews for, and they work great for carrying it at the range or for winter concealed carry, but I'd have to have another carry system for summer concealed carry. I'd appreciate any suggestions that you might have. This pistol's really too big for pocket carry, and I'm personally not big on inside the waistband carry, so that limits my options a lot. So far, I've just mentioned concealed carry as a role that this Shield could play, but actually this gun could be a 3-in-1 type of handgun. Concealed carry, because of its small size, home defense, and also as a truck gun. For somebody that's just getting started with handguns, this could be a good all-purpose pistol to start with. Now let me go over some of the positives and negatives of this handgun, and I'll try to cover the features that way. The main reason why I purchased this pistol, as I've already said, was the price. At $325 for a Smith & Wesson, it was a deal that I just couldn't pass up. Another reason why I really like the pistol, though, is its size. I don't have the exact weight, but it's a very lightweight pistol, and you can get a pretty good grip on it. This has the magazine that carries 7 in the mag plus 1 in the chamber, gives a total capacity of 8 rounds, and I can get a good 2-finger grip on that gun, and I think that's adequate. I haven't seen any difference between a 2- and 3-fingered grip. Now, it does come with another magazine. This carries 8 plus 1 in the chamber for a total of 9 rounds, and I can get a full 3-fingered grip using this magazine. Now, I usually keep the 7-round mag in the gun because I do use it for concealed carry, and that makes it that much slimmer and it doesn't print as much. A third reason why I like the Smith & Wesson, and it's a positive, is just the quality. I've always known Smith & Wesson to be quality handguns. I'll show you this side for a second. And there's really no rough edges anywhere on the pistol, and the finish on the slide is very smooth and high quality. It's typical Smith & Wesson from my experience. They pay good attention to detail. A fourth reason that I like the gun is that it's not ambidextrous. Now, some of y'all that do reviews will note as a positive that a gun is ambidextrous, But I'm a right-handed shooter, and I buy guns that are suited for right-handed shooters. I don't intend to sell a gun, and so I don't want controls over and levers over here on the right-hand side that are going to get in my way and snag on either holster or clothing. All the controls are on the left-hand side, and I'll go over those in a second. Okay, now I'll go over the negatives, and there are a few with this gun. The first negative is a potential feed issue with the gun. When magazines are fully loaded, it can be very difficult to get them to lock into place. The top round in the magazine will make contact with the bottom of this slide, and there's a good bit of pressure there. I'll insert a full magazine to show you what I'm talking about. Now, the gun has been safety checked, and there's nothing in the chamber. This is the 8-round mag, and it has 8 rounds in it. And this works the same either with the 7 or the 8-round mag. But when you insert it and the top round touches the slide right there, there's still a good 1/4 of an inch left to insert. And it takes a good bit of pressure to get that to lock into place. To be fair, I've only had 1 round misfeed out of 4 boxes, so it hasn't been a big issue so far, but it's something that could potentially be an issue. I've used several brands of 9mm ammo so far, and like I say, there hasn't been any major issues so far. Yesterday I went to the range and I shot some Remington UMC and also some S&W. And I didn't have any issues at all yesterday. The second negative that I've found, or potential negative, is the fact that there's a safety on this gun. The safety is located right here, and it's got a very positive click on and off. But it's the only gun that I have, other than my Ruger SR1911, that has a safety. Personally, I like the security of having a safety on a handgun, but it's definitely a training issue for me when it's the only handgun that I carry that has a safety. I've had numerous occasions at the range where I tried to fire the gun when the safety was on and I forgot to take it off. In my opinion, it would be best to train with the Shield regularly and then carry it daily instead of alternating weapons, as some do. The third issue I'll try to demonstrate, but it's a complication with takedown. I find the Shield to be a little more complicated to take down than any other gun that I own. Smith & Wesson has put an extra step into the process, and I'll try to demonstrate it. First, take the magazine out, lock the slide back into place. Then, I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but I'll try to light it up when I get my hands free. But take a special tool and depress a lever. And the lever, you might be able to see down in there. You have to depress that. Now, I'll try to do that now. Okay, I've depressed the lever. I think you might be able to see that in there. I hope you can. But once that lever is depressed, then you rotate the takedown lever here, unlock the gun, and the slide comes right off. To reassemble it, you just reverse the process, lock the gun in place, lock the slide in place, rotate that lever, unlock it, and now you don't have to mess with that lever inside here because when you insert the magazine, it pushes that lever back into place. So that wasn't terribly hard, but I think it's one step that's really unnecessary. And so that's why I listed it as a negative. A fourth negative is a recall on this trigger safety right here. Let me just double check since I've been messing with a full mag also. There's nothing in the gun. But this trigger safety right here has had a recall. Smith & Wesson has identified a problem, and I'll try to light that up a little bit. But the problem is with this tab right here and this pin between the lower and the upper trigger. And you can test it easily by just pulling on the trigger 4 or 5 times and watching this tab and make sure that it resets each time. Smith & Wesson will fix that if you do have a problem. I personally have not known of anybody with a Shield that has had that problem. Okay, the fifth area that I want to go over is accuracy, and I really questioned whether this should be listed as a positive or a negative, since it really reflects my accuracy more than the handguns. But I've decided to list it as a negative because Overall, or in general, I feel like I'm not as accurate with this gun as I am with other guns. To refresh my memory, I went to the range yesterday and I put 2 boxes of ammo, the Remington and the S&B, through the handgun, and I'll show you just a few of the targets that I shot. This target was at 5 yards. I know it's hard to see here, but I'll turn it over and show you from the back. But at 5 yards, I shot a 1.5 inch group, and I measure that from the point of aim right there. Now that's decent, I'll take that, but I know that I can do better with other handguns. At 15 yards, I shot a 2.5 inch group as measured from the point of aim. And like I say, I'll take that, but I know that I can do better with other handguns. Now, at 15 yards, I did it a little bit different. At 15 yards, at 25 yards, I fired 15 rounds at the target. 7 of the 15 rounds landed within the target outline, and I'll turn that over and show that. Here's the center of the target outline, or my point of aim. 7 rounds fell within the target outline. 8 rounds fell outside of the target outline. In general, though, I tended to shoot the Shield from the left to the left and low. At 25 yards, I had to aim actually at the top of the target even to connect. For self-defense, I doubt that I'd ever use the Shield at distances over 10 yards, though, so accuracy is not a major drawback. However, I still feel that I'm more accurate with other handguns, so I'm listing accuracy as one of the negatives. It may have something to do with the feel of the Shield in my hand. The slim design of this grip is great for concealed carry, but it doesn't really fill up my hand, and I've always noticed that. I want to go over competitive options. The handgun that the Shield competes with most in my stable of handguns is this Walther PPS. The Walther is a much more expensive handgun than the Shield, and my version of it fires the Smith & Wesson .40 caliber round. To be fair, I haven't been carrying the Walther that much this summer either. Already owning the Walther was the main reason that I thought I didn't need to purchase the Shield. Stay tuned for a future side-by-side comparison of these two guns, Smith & Wesson Shield and the Walther PPS. Y'all take care.